Welcome back. It's International Women's Day, a day when women's accomplishments are celebrated regardless of national, ethnic, linguistic, cultural, economic, or political boundaries. The founder of MI Communications, Morna Ikosa, currently joins us in studio to talk to us about what it means to be a woman. A very good morning, Ms. Ikosa. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me.
You look amazing, by the way. If we're like on the Namas red carpet or blue carpet, I'll probably be like, who dressed you?
Yeah, no, I usually do my own designs, and there's a tailor called Mike. He's from Tanzania, so he usually does my tires.
You know what? You did your own design, so it's amazing. It suits you, and wow.
Thank you.
So happy International Women's Day,
Thank you
ma'am.
very much.
So how are you this morning, and what
I
does the
am-
day mean to you?
Wow, so the day, I have a bit of mixed feelings about the day. The fact that, okay, so this theme for this year is embracing equity.
Yeah.
And we usually gone around equality, gender equality, but equity just takes it a bit further. And I think a lot of the times we use the words interchangeably, equity and equality, but they actually mean very different things. And so I think the reason why I have a bit of mixed feelings is that, yes, we've really come a long way from where we've been in terms of recognizing women to have equal access to resources, to education, and so on. But I think we still have a long way to go in actually embracing equity. And by equity, I mean that identifying people and acknowledging that they don't have the same starting points and that they have individual needs. And how can we, as a community, as a nation, or workplaces, be able to identify and recognize those different starting points and create opportunities that will eventually create equality. And I mean, like yesterday, I was reading a newspaper article, I think it was in the Namibian, where women in Afghanistan are still not allowed to go to university, right? And they're celebrating Women's Day today, but what are they really celebrating if one of what we would call then a basic human right, according to the UN Declaration, education is taken away from them?
Yeah.
So,
It's
yeah.
actually quite sad, hey?
Yeah, no, it really is.
All right. Now, talk to us about some of the challenges that you faced as a woman in your profession.
Wow, okay. So I think some of the ones, I'll start with when I have 3 children. And so when I was pregnant and I was required to travel, for example, it was such a big issue because then I'm a mother of a nursing baby. I'm required to travel, but the organization does not make or does not have policies to, for example, allow me to travel with my nanny so that I can then be with the nanny, leave my child, and still be able to breastfeed. I mean, the WHO is very clear about, at least allowing a child to be breastfed for 6 months. But when you don't have policies that are friendly towards young mothers or just maternal, it's a bit of difficulty. So that's one, I think. The other is really just the fact that in as much as we talk about gender, we should also talk about age, right? So being discriminated because I'm young, then you're not allowed to take on certain positions and so on because, like you are just this young girl, even though you can do the work, right? So those are just some of the things I've, and when you speak up, when you want to educate fellow men around issues of equality or equity, then you're branded as a feminist. And feminism is not seen in a very positive light, especially in the African context. So those are just some of it's the stereotypes, it's the policies that are not women-friendly, and yeah.
All right. Now, from your perspective, do you think we have gender equality in Namibia?
I think to a certain extent,
Okay.
equality, yes, equity, no. Right, so equality, we've got now the whole zebra policy with 50-50 representation in parliament, for example. We've got a woman candidacy for president, which is a first, which is really great. I would say that organizations are trying to provide equal opportunities and access to women as well in the workplace. But when it comes to equity, I think we still have a long way to go because I made a very interesting example. For example, let's look at just structural designs in our buildings. You would find that in most organizations you would have women in buildings, but toilets, you would find on a floor, you would have one toilet for women, one toilet for a man, but there are more women in a building. So now you would find that women would have to queue up or wait to go into a toilet, where with the men, it's easier. So it's very small things like that we still have to sort of be cognizant of and really implement in, whether it's recruitment, whether it's how we design our buildings. Do we have areas for mothers to, breastfeed or express, or daycare centers? So it's issues around that.
All right. Now, unfortunately, we are running out of time, but what is your message to all the women out there?
I think my message is really, I'll end with Justice Ruth Ginsburg's words, where she says we should really live outside ourselves. We all don't have, like I said, the same starting point. So we should take advantage of the education, the exposure, the experience that we have, and really serve people who are less perhaps fortunate, people who are at a disadvantage, the marginalized people, and use the talents and gifts that we have for the less fortunate. And that goes for not just the women, but also men, to use the positions that they've given to really recognize the inequalities and equity that is not given to the various genders.
All right, Ms. Ikosa, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Happy International Women's Day again, once more, and also we wish you all the best with the rest of your day.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
All right. The founder of MI Communications, Morna Ikosa, joining us this morning, talking to us about International Women's Day and also what it means for her being a woman, and also just touching on a few challenges. Don't go anywhere.